you guys, welcome. And my favorite person here is Becky. Thank you, Becky, for showing up. I'm telling you, girl, if it wasn't for you, I might not even have the show. Welcome everyone. This is the Macro Chat Live Show. And what we do here is we talk about macro, close-up, and micro photography. I have a passion for macro photography. I'm also a lover of landscape. But when I went around and did some searching to see what was new when it came to macro photography, I didn't really find too much. So I said, let's start a new show just for those people who really love that close-up photography. And Becky's one of them. Kim's here. Oh, hello, Kim. So I have to say, I have this restream chat that's going, and I'm very excited. Jan A's here. Hello, hello, hello. Catherine's here. Hey, I'm so excited, girls. I am so ecstatic. It is so nice to be able to see you guys live chatting about what we love, which is close-up photography. And so I always say macro, but really, we don't want to get technical here. We just like to look at stuff that's very close up or kind of close or really close. And this show is dedicated for those of you who love that kind of photography. And you could be a beginner to really crazy, you know, stacking stuff. It doesn't matter. We're all here together because we love what we do, and that's photography. Hey, there's Andrea. Andrea, hello. Facebook. So I have the chat up where I can see Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Now, Twitch is kind of quiet, so we'll see what happens with Twitch, but YouTube and Facebook are now working good. This show will definitely still be on Twitch, because you never know. What if there's a macro photographer out there that's all by themselves and don't really know, like, hey, there's somebody that actually wants to share images. We have 4 images today. Crazy excited. Becky's one of them, and we have a male. I mean, the guys aren't hanging out here too much, huh? Are they? I mean, we have Nelson. He is sharing 2 of his images, and very crazy excited. And I do get excited. When I say I'm excited, I'm not lying. I'm very excited about this kind of stuff. I love to see their work. The 4 images came in yesterday. Well, I actually got them in this morning, and I was just smiling all day. It's something to do with just seeing up close and really, and actually, to tell you the truth, when I read Becky's stuff, I feel this way. So we'll get into the critique, but let me just give you a little heads up. Now, if I'm super loud, let me know, because it seems like it's going red on my OBS thing that I'm doing. I have a mic here, and it's because I want to move around more. I want to be able to move, and it seems like it might be too loud. So just let me know in the chat if I'm too loud. If you guys get a chance, do me a favor. It's such a newbie show. Share it with your friends. Anybody else that loves kind of, you know, the fun stuff that we love, which is that close-up photography. And this way the chat can get going. Because when I'm here by myself, I really can chat with you guys. I do have guests. This show, if you have never been here before, this show is about sharing equipment. I say critiques, but it's really not so much of a critique. It's about people sharing their images, and a lot of people have the same issues or the same type of, it might just be something that they want to improve on. So those images work really good when you submit them. I could talk to you guys, and it's a broader type thing. So I'm really not like honing in on Becky, even though I know her. I'm really trying to talk to the broader of you guys who really love. Oh, good. Thanks, Jan. She says, I'm fine. Okay, good, because I didn't know if this mic was going to be too crazy. But anyways, I really think that it's a great show to be able to talk to people that understand or having, you know, that really love that close-up stuff, but just have little questions on it. So this is a really fun place to hang out with you guys. And when I do have guests coming on, so it's about equipment, really honing in on macro, the critiques are close-up macro, and my guests are professional macro photographers, or they do that on the side, and they're images that I have been really inspired by. So in the month of April coming up, we were supposed to have a really great person, Sherry, but because she's going to be pushed to July, I'm going to work with A.D. Wheeler. He's going to actually produce the show. I'm producing it now, so you're going to see me looking down, pushing up. But what I'm really excited about is I could chat with you guys very, which is nice. So see, like Becky's like, your enthusiasm is what inspires me. Oh, see, that really makes my day, because it is exciting to see things up close, and I love being with you guys that love to do the same thing, that really likes to get those photographs and push your limits and see things, which I'm not going to let everybody know, Becky, yet about one of your images that you said, so that it'll be suspenseful, because what she said in her image, I asked for information. Let me just do that real quick. So I have the show every other, I fixed my behind the scenes. So look, every other week before I had it at 1 o'clock. So I have the show every other Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so I did this because have a glass of wine if you want, have a beer, have some water, have some tea, whatever you want. It's a place to relax. And I was having it at 1 p.m. and I just was it was just in the middle of the day for me. And I just want to chill with you guys and be able to chat with you guys. So I made it later on in the evening for me. I'm sorry that I cannot be chatting with some of my European friends, but they watch the show afterwards and we chat afterwards. So this show is every other Thursday. And then I have on my YouTube, the following, like next Thursday will be, I'm starting this new thing called a quick dive. I used to have deep dives. So every Thursday on YouTube, there's content coming out, but now I'm starting this thing, which is more of a quick dive. So that happens next Thursday. Then, if you want to submit your images, there's a couple things. You can go to Facebook and join our group. And it's Facebook groups Macro Live Chat. And that's where Becky hangs out. And we, like I was saying, we have Nelson. Yay! So Nelson's going to be, he shared his images. I don't know if he's going to be here today or not. But basically, you can ask your questions there or share your images on if you want them to be on the show. If you're not on a Facebook person, no worries. You can go to the website, my website, which is sullivanjphotography.com. Macro Live is here. And that gives you all the previous shows and I give you like a little bit of forms so you can submit your images or questions. I've gotten questions through there and through Facebook to answer for you guys. Water. I also drink water. I bring the wine on because it's just fun, but I'm not pounding it. I get frogs in my throat. I can't just keep talking. I have to have water all the time. So let's see. No ums. Tell me when I'm saying People say stop saying because I realize that I'm doing that. The next thing that I think that's pretty much it, because I have a full packed show going, which again I'm super excited about. So I just wanted to let you know the different ways that you can submit your images. We have 2 pieces of equipment that I'm going to share with you, and it was inspired by the images today, which usually happens. I already had said that I was going to do some post-production, which I am towards the end of the show, so I want to get rocking and rolling because this show is only an hour. I do not go over an hour. So unless, like I have Alan Shapiro in 2 months, if he's talking away and I'm like totally interested, we might go over an hour. So just to let you guys know that it's supposed to be an hour, but it could be when I have guests. Let's see. Before I get started, I have to say my sponsor. I am a businesswoman, and this is a show that I totally enjoy, but I do want to share with you kind of my sponsor, which is, you'll see in a little bit. Today's Macro Photography Live Chat Show is brought to you by Adventurers of the F-Stop, a $29 monthly membership to elevate your macro and landscape photography and business skills. Just go to membership.sullivanjphotography.com and check out all the details to push your creations in 2018. I think you can hear me drinking, huh? Yes, I have a membership program that I've just started. Well, actually, I started in November. Catherine and Kim is part of it. And it's a great group where we push each other. And I really get to connect to you guys when we're in the membership. And I really get to help you. And I actually love feedback of my own work. I got stagnant and I was tired. I had selling the same things and I needed to really push myself. And I thought, you know what? I know other people that are like that too. And also business. I mean, especially when it comes to, there's always wedding photographers and portrait. I don't know how many times I've turned down. Oh gosh, I don't know how to get rid of. Okay, hold on one second. I need to go like this. And you know what? It's called spam. Let's see. Let's just see. Put this. I don't know how to hide this. Okay, I think I got that. Okay. Well, when you're on live, you get freaks, and I just got one on YouTube. This is a Macro Chat live show, and I just deleted that person. So boom, see ya. Oh, God. Okay, so let's get to the show, people. But I was like rambling on, but we really need to get into equipment because I'm so excited about actually our critique. Let's get on to that. Today we're going to talk about calibration. Now, some of you are like, I'm just starting off. I don't really want to calibrate. I don't know how to do all this stuff. And it's too much work, and how do you do it, and all this stuff. So what I'm talking about is calibrating your monitor. And the reason why I say that is because I had an image today, and a lot of the images that I see that I feel like, oh, I bet you they haven't calibrated their monitor yet, is because of the light and dark of how you see your monitor. So you could be on a laptop and you could push up that light and it goes all the way extreme, and then you could push it down and then you see your images dark. So there's several ways you can calibrate your actual monitor through your actual, like Windows or Mac. They have their own in the computers, so through the PCs and all that stuff. So that's kind of like an eyeball-ish. I suggest you guys do that anyways, just to, if you don't want to pay because you're just starting off and you're learning the craft of photography. But if you are an intermediate or definitely advanced, you'll hear some photographers say, oh, I never calibrate my monitor. Well, if you are like me, anal, and want my photographs to have the color that I wanted it to be, then you need to calibrate your monitor. And then if you say someone's going to buy your image, and let's put a scenario. So somebody wants to buy your image, put it on the wall. They have a whole, I worked with the hospitality industry. So let's just go with what I know. They have a whole concept of what they're designing. And then my images on the monitor look pink, red, whatever. And that red, there's such a gradient within that color. If it's not what they're thinking that they're seeing on the monitor, you've lost that client. So, of course, if you're not in the business, that's okay. But if you are thinking about in the business, or somebody wants to buy your stuff and they get it and the image is not what they thought it was going to be, then there's going to be problems. So I want to share with you 2 ways to do this. So first of all, you can use a spider or a ColorMunki. I have an Ezio, which is, I know, it's going to be expensive. You got to remember I'm a professional, so I pay for the monitors that are because my clients expect it. But you don't have to have the most expensive stuff. You still need to have basics. So what I want to do is I just want to share, this is what I use, and I put it on my monitor, and when I print, if I'm going to print or if I'm going to license my images, it is calibrated, and I will tell them this is a calibrated image. So this is something that you can use. In post-production, once you have that set, which I'm going to share with you some images real quick, we'll go to Lightroom, but once you're set, we're going to, yes, in the membership program, and Kim and Catherine, you get a little bit behind the scenes because we're going to talk about color, because sometimes color really just messes you up, and we're going to have a workshop next month. But I'm going to share with you guys here these little things, and I'll share with you in a little bit. This is why, this is gray. It's the percentage that the camera can see for exposure. Here's black, pure black, and here's pure white. And you'll take a picture with it next to you, and then when you go into Lightroom and Photoshop, you click on this, click on this, and it will make everything perfect, hopefully. But we will play more. I just want to share with you guys about with this stuff right here. It's a good, and I'm going to share right now. I'm going to go over there so you guys can see it. Let me make sure that I got everything rolling. And then as I'm doing that, just to let you guys know that I am 30 seconds in delay. So here we go. Let me go into click on. I'm just going to share my screen over here. Let's see if I got it right. Let me have a sip of wine. Make sure. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Hi. I'm here. Okay, it worked. Sometimes, you know, like that's why I need Andy here, because when I'm like, can we go to this screen? He can do it for me. I'm pushing buttons and I'm making sure. So this over here is what I was talking about. And it's really good. You can see that it will change up your color and fix your exposure and your color. So here's an example. Again, it has a gray card, white balance card. So I actually have a video on how to use the white to color balance in your camera, and I'll put that video link down below. But sometimes when you're photographing, you get funky colors. That's what it is. And with macro, you can use these small little ones if you're really up close, and take a picture of this and put this in your camera as the white balance, and it will help you when it comes to color problems. Then again, too, there's other ways which I don't want to get too close and crazy, but there's other ways when you're in Lightroom, you take the color picker and push that gray one, and then it'll fix it all up for you. So that is a great way to do this in camera. Now, when we come to ColorMunki, I actually love ColorMunki, and I've used this before, but this is for people that actually are really paying attention to their images and getting it out. So in the beginning, you could use, they all run about $100 for the basics, and that is really good when it comes to your monitor, and then you're sending your prints off to other people. So the monitor is calibrated so you can see what the colors and the light and the darkness of your image properly. So let me see if you could see this. This little part right in here, that does the luminance. So that calibrates the light. So I will do a daylight one. I'll calibrate for daylight, and then say in this dark area, I will calibrate for the night, because the luminance is usually what I see when I say, oh, the images are really dark and black and inky, or they're too light. It's because they're looking at the monitor and it's not properly done, and they're not seeing the colors properly, and they're not seeing the light properly. And when they push it out to the internet, then what happens is other people will see it differently. You know, I know that they might be having their thing jacked up, but when you want to really, when somebody's professionally looking, they will have their own calibrated monitor. So when they're looking at work, they are looking at what you are. And it's pretty, you know, I mean, we can get real detailed, but I'm just talking more in general of getting the colors and the lighting proper. So you can get into heavy duty, ColorMunki, and like I said, there's Spider and other ones, but I've used the ColorMunki, and I've actually used, they have the color checker, and that's like really intense when you could just use this stuff right here. So if you're getting really detailed and working with commercial, yeah, get the color checker password, or I don't know, color checker or whatever. You can get into detail with all that. Those three that I just showed you before is perfect. But they also have one where you can scan. See this 249? You can scan. Let me see if you could see it. There it is. You can scan the paper. So if you're printing from home, you print and you actually run it through and print, and then it will actually calibrate to the paper that you're using, and you can have paper printing when you're printing from home. It will look exactly the way you want it to look when you're looking in the light that you have. So I wanted to share that with you really quick. Hey David, how's it going? David's here. Hello. I'm just looking at your you use the Spider soft. Oh, let me come over. Look at, I'm looking at the chat. Let me come over here so I can see you guys. Let me make sure that I'm going to go to the front screen. There I am. So let me see what Becky says. I use the Spider software, which is affordable and does a fairly good job. Perfect. See, Spider. So you can check out the Spider. And it does make a difference. It really does make a difference, and definitely when it comes to the luminance, I see that all the time. So let me get off of that, and I'll share the links down below, and they have videos, and you can check that all out. But I just think it's kind of I know it's important when you are sharing your work. I'll tell you, when I started doing my calibration, because I'm such a nitpick on my colors and how I want to manipulate my images and my work, it made a huge difference, and I got more clients. So I know maybe others maybe not do that, but I know for me, it was definitely a great decision for me to get my monitor, the one that I wanted, to be able to calibrate it and to be able to share what I know that I worked so hard on, because I don't just take pictures and push them out, and I'm sure most of you guys don't do that either. So if you're putting all that work into it, I really suggest you do that. Take some time and calibrate that monitor. Paint, I know, it's always like money, right? It's like, can we just win the lotto? Let's see. Okay, when you push out your images, yes, they're going to be sRGB. That is that's what we see out. When you're printing, you're going to use RGB. I don't want to we'll have a separate show for all that, but just trust me when it comes to the calibration, I really think that it will help you for sure. Before you start calibrating, let me just tell you a tip. Don't calibrate right off the bat. Let that monitor sit for at least about a half an hour or so, because you want it to be nice and warm and out there. So then this way, when it calibrates, the monitor is ready for you to go. So just trust me on that one. Okay, now is my favorite. Let's see, what time is it? 5:28. All right, we're doing good. We're doing good, because this is, I've got critiques, and I've got a little bit of post-production work, and of course I will check the chat, because that's what it's all about, is checking the chat. So I'm excited. I'm really happy, David, that you're here on Facebook, because I got a lot of people on YouTube. Facebook has been okay, but I haven't been able to really connect with a lot of people on Facebook, so that's really cool. All right, should we go? Should we go? Yeah, I think we should go to critique. So I do these little intros because I think some of you guys know that I am in the middle of trying to get these on podcasts. So when it comes to podcasts, you need like a little stop, being like a little music or something to get to the next segment. So that's why I do that. And plus I had fun making that stuff. So let me get over here to Lightroom. Oh, you know what? I should show you this real quick. I'm going to show you this. Let me get over to, I'm going to show my screen. I know we're in the critique section, but let me just show this to you. Okay, here's what I was talking about on my calibration. So see right here, this is the, you could do through your own computer and you don't have to buy this stuff. But like I was saying, it's more important to be able to hook up what I have, and what Becky has is the spider. So you hook this up, I hook this up, and you see there. And then what it does is it calibrates for the lighting, all this good stuff. So what I do is I shoot for 55, and the brightness, I did some research. So the gamma's 2.2, I do Adobe RGB 5500, and my brightness is 80. But once it's done, it evaluates everything, and here you go. Here's my target, and here's what it adjusted to. So this monitor that you're seeing right here is calibrated, and what you see from the show may not be the quality because we're going through Facebook and I had to do, though it's not HD like I love it to be. I get to see these images way better than you guys do, but at least you get an idea of what's going on. But when I share the work, you're going to see the actual colors that are true from my calibrated monitor. So we're going to start first with Nelson. And Nelson sent, like I said, I have 4 images, and normally I take one from each, but you know what? I just thought, hey, I got time, and let's talk about it, because I really feel, like I said before, that a lot of us can relate to certain images and be able to help each other, because we have all the same kind of, I'm moving all my crap. We have the same kind of issues when we're out in the field or in the studio, so it's really good to be able to talk about these images in more detail. I don't do these critiques or these things really fast. I really take time and pay attention. It's not like a real fast, hey, that looks great, it's all perfect. It's not like that. It's all, when I look at these things, I look to see, of course, positives and other things that maybe might come up for all of us when we're out in the macro world. So let's go. Let's see. I want to see where I'm at here. I'm going to go ahead, like I always do, and read what they say. And Nelson says, here's the red flower. He calls it Little Red. It's a Nikon D750 is what he used, with a 105 macro lens. His ISO was 2000. He was at f6 at 1/400th of a second, and he handheld. His goal was to create a dreamy type image with very little focus. I aimed for the fuzzy thing. Wait a minute, I love it. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. I aimed for the fuzzy thing in the middle. I knew the greenery in the background would blur all... Wait, I'm sorry. I knew that the greenery in the background would all blur together, making it a great background. My voice is going because I was laughing. I'm sorry, I was laughing because he's like, I aimed for the fuzzy things in the middle. I love that. This is what he's talking about. Probably the pollen, but it's just... I get such a kick. Look at this. Okay, let's get up. I'm sure he's talking about the pollen. So I thought that was so funny because you know what? When I was first photographing flowers and stuff, I seriously was like, what the hell is this? What is this? I actually went on the internet and looked at a flower and said, oh, okay, this is the stem, and this is the, I mean, they have such technical terms. So I thought that was really great, Nelson, when you said that I aim for the fuzzy things in the middle. And then he says, I knew the greenery in the background would all blur together and make a great background, which it has. It's a beautiful image, and I just love the way you described it. It was great. So that, oh my gosh, it was so cute. So again, when I get started with this stuff, I like to use I use my tablet. It is, once you go tablet, you never go back. I seriously cannot, there is no way I would be able to post-process with using this guy right here. See, this is this. I can't do that. I have to use my tablet. So when we get into Lightroom and Photoshop and stuff, I'm totally into the tablet thing. Otherwise, it just gets all funky. I tried a couple times during the show using the tablet, and I really was screwing things up. So here we go. So yes, I do love that you got the background nice and soft like you wanted to, and that was very successful for sure. And it's really pretty. You could see that he got the pollen in focus. And like I said, most of you guys are not going to be able to see everything that I do, because both of the people have sent me the high resolution JPEGs. So, another drink. Now, if you guys have questions, let me know. So I will look at the chat, because I've got Lightroom here and chat right here. So Little Red, I just said that, you know, in my notes when I was looking at it, I was totally smiling. He's definitely, this is beautiful right in here. He has taken which a lot of us do when we do the macro in the beginning too, for sure, is that we get what's in focus because we're getting so close, and everything else we lose depth of field. But what he's done is, which I really love, is that he has focused here. It's nice and bright. Our eyes go there, and then everything off to the background is just part of the composition, kind of flows with it. So when you're looking at macro, there's a lot of lines, and you need to really pay attention to the lines. That's really important. When it comes to macro photography, we don't have horizons like a big, huge mountain and, you know, the ocean and level and all that. It doesn't happen when it comes to macro photography. But lines are really important because we will pay attention to the lines. It's just nature. So one of the things I did say that when I was writing my little notes and stuff, and I wanted to let you guys know. See that? I guess I better drink water. I got like a little, what is it, a frog? A frog in my throat. So basically, what I liked about this image is the background. But I thought, I wanted you guys to realize that when we have bright areas, we really go to the bright areas. So let me get into the develop module, and I'm going to go to the crop. I like his idea of having the flower here and being able to see the sides, but this area right in here for me is just a little bit distracting. Say if he had these colors, so if you wanted to go and post and bring some of these colors and paint this in to give it more depth, so you have the depth. Look at how this is dark, this is light, this is light, this is dark. You've got some depth going here, and over here is just all light. And I think that for me, now you don't have to like what I say, but I think for me, just bringing it in a little bit more, because that side, to me, doesn't really tell as much of the story of this beautiful, elegant image that has a soft feel to it. Now I still get the feel. You don't have to crop in as much, but I feel that that whole left side needs a little bit more depth to it in order to be part of the composition. So right now I still get the same feel. I actually, to tell you the truth, Nelson, what I did was I took this into Photoshop and I increased the canvas to pull it because I think I understand what you were doing. You know, you wanted it more of the TV, you know, like the wider feel to it. I get it. But when I increased the canvas, I didn't share it with you. I'm not going to share it today. When I increased the canvas was it still had this area that was just, to me, just a little bit too light. So I love that this still gives me the feel. I feel it's very successful and I totally love it. The only other suggestion that I would have, because I love this, I think it's does what you want, is because it's so soft and elegant, we're looking on the screen. But if you want to print, let's get over here. Let's move this back. Over here is just a little bit of pollen. Now, you could say, Janice, you're being so nitpicky. Well, if you want to take it a step further than everyone else, put some music on and really get nitpicky. Because that's what makes it out and really pays attention. Some people don't even realize, especially not photographers, they don't realize, they just say, oh, that's pretty. But when you print this, these little specks in here, which is pollen, takes my eyes away. We'll go to fill. Let's see. You wanted the soft look. So this is why I'm saying this to you. You wanted the soft feel to it. So I feel the softness. And then these little dots in here, like I said, these little pollens breaks the softness because it's sharp over there. So what I would do is I would just go ahead and take the brush. Let's see. Let's move this over. And I would just clone that out. Let's see. You know, clone and heal. And I would just take some of this stuff off. And it will, then I won't be distracted anymore. And it will look soft all the way around. And that's it. I think that's a beautiful image. I really love it. That's just my little tidbit. If you want to do this again, what I would suggest is, or in post-processing, if you want to get really, you can paint. You can just bring a little depth into this area right over here. Let me see. I want to get out of the clone. Let's close that out. So here, right in this area, just bring a little depth. Okay, and that happens a lot. You can, when you're photographing, you can put like a leaf or something in the background because it's so far away that, and you have the depth. Another thing I wanted to say too is I noticed that you did say that you were using 2000 ISO, and I think you were doing that because of your hand holding. And actually, to tell you the truth, it doesn't look bad. I thought for sure, oh my God, I'm going to have all this grain. So you must have fixed it, or you just have a great camera. I don't know. So that looks really good. Let's go ahead and go on to the next one because I'm looking at time and I've got a lot to say as always. So let's go on to the second image. And this is a cool, I mean, look at how cool that is. I actually did some research to try to find this image. I mean, this flower, because I've never seen a flower like this. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but I was really impressed. I'm like, wow, it's got to be in the orchid family because it looks like an orchid, but I've never seen an orchid with just green and white or beige. You know, that was really interesting to me, seeing an orchid like this. So that was, I love this. This is why I smile, to see fun stuff like this. This is his second one. It's green flower. He calls it Audrey. He shot it with a Nikon D750 at 100 with his macro 105, and he used an ISO of 200 at f32 at 5 seconds. He used a tripod and black foam board for the background. His goal was to capture as much detail as possible, the smooth middle contrast with the prickly looking leaves. So I wanted as much in focus as possible. I love the way you describe things. He's so, look at, this is what he was talking about right in here. Awesome. He's so cool. He says his focus point, in parentheses, I believe, was dead center. I'm going to tell you where your focus point was. It wasn't dead center, but I'll tell you in a sec. Is it this one? Oh, no, it's Becky. I'm going to tell you something, Becky. Okay, we'll hold on to Becky. Hold on. So I'm jumping the gun here. So his wasn't dead center. Let me just tell him right here. So he thought his focus was dead center. His focus is actually right in here, which is, to me, perfect. Right in here. So that's what the protection area of the flower. So he said that also this flower was very wide and had many distracting elements around it. So I chose to use a black board and compose the flowers so that the center was the showcase. Let's see. He goes, I did capture a focus stack of this flower, but I was happy enough with this shot that I didn't need to bother with the process. And you know what? It's good. You didn't need to, you're right. Because this one, it really is nice. You didn't need to focus stack. Because sometimes when we focus stack, our eyes go to what's in focus for sure. Sometimes you need that blurry area to be part of the composition and your story, but you don't want it always to be in focus because it's just a secondary part. If you want everything in focus, my little tip, if you want everything in focus, then that needs to be the main story, what's in focus, and make sure that's what it is. So when I stack my images, say if I want everything in focus, that means that I want you to pay attention to that area because our eyes will definitely go to that. It's just kind of human instinct. So with this green orchid, so pretty, his stack was, he didn't stack, obviously. He got what he wanted. And to me, what's important is right in here in this area. It really does look cool. Let's see if we can go to a fill so you guys can see it a little bit more. So this image right here, I just love the lines. Again, we were talking about lines. This is the lines. It's green. It's got all this pretty stuff that we would not normally see in a flower. And I'm glad that you use the black background behind it because, yes, there is distractions for sure because there's so much lines going. So if something else was in part of the background, I think we would lose all the lines that you have worked so hard to accomplish in this image. So that's really pretty. And I'm glad that you did use the black background. I do suggest that Nelson, this was one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about the calibrating your monitor. So I'm seeing, and I don't know if you've seen this because maybe your monitor is different because you wanted it black in the background. But let me show you. Let's go to fill first. Can you see how this is black here? And then it goes into like a greenish area. We'll go 1 to 1. Here it is. See this area right in here? That actually will show up on a print. You may not see it as much on the internet or on websites, but for sure on a print, boy, that's going to pop right up. So I can see it here. I can see it over here. I'll show you an easy fix in Lightroom. But what I suggest instead of using the black foam core or paper, where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. Here it is. I brought it out. Let me share. Let me see if I can go to my front screen. Okay, here it is. This is black velvet. And as you can see, it's not reflecting any light. I got lights. I've got 3 lights on me right now. I'm kind of blinded, to tell you the truth. I've got all these lights on me so you guys can see me. This is black velvet, and this will not reflect the light. So the light will come in and hit it. Oops, sorry. It's like getting on my mic. The light will come in, hit it, and it will stop. So drape this stuff behind your subject. You can drape it on a studio or outside, whatever. This is great stuff. I'm telling you, it works amazing. You can just go to any fabric store and buy this. I've had this thing for years. See? And I take it everywhere. It's my #1 beauty. If you see black without a reflection in any of my work, it's because of this baby right here. This is just so beautiful. I'm telling you, if you want black backgrounds, you've got to use black velvet. All you macro people, black velvet. All right. Wanted to share that with you. So let's go ahead and really quickly fix this image in Lightroom. So let's see. Can you, oh, what we're going to do is, you guys got to see it, right? Let me make sure. We are going to, where are you, AD? Lightroom. All right, so Lightroom, here we are. All right. What I suggest is you use this tool right here because you're going to go ahead and paint through all of this area. It feels really weird to me because I have such this screen is like really close because of Facebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the blacks. Where are we? It's like, so here we go. So blacks, and I'm going to paint. Hold on. Just do it real, let me bring this baby down. So I'm going to paint in the blacks and get rid of all the black. Now let's say if I go over here, see, look at, oh, you don't want to do that. So you can go in, say if you've gone over, there is an erase tool right here, and then you just erase, let me push this up. Then you just erase what you've done. So instantly, we will go ahead into the library. I'm just going to push this up. Now here it is. It's all black. You can see where I've missed it. But if you want to share this with, you know, out in the internet and stuff, I suggest that you fix all of that because you could see that it's distracting and you wanted that black. So you could easily fix that in Lightroom. But of course, I want you to be able to do that in post first, to tell you the truth. I mean, in camera, it's always better to do your best to do in camera, and then if you have to, fix things. So that's one of the things that I really do pressure that everybody try to do everything the best they can in camera, and then if they have to fix things afterwards, then go for it. And then you fix, and then you really post-process, because that's what I want to hurry up. Oh my gosh, it's 5:52. I have to hurry because we have to get into Becky's. Okay, let's get done. We are done. Oh, one other thing that I suggest real quick. Even though we don't have horizons, it is off-centered. See how it's straight? So let's go done. So here's the here is the before, here is the after. And it just looks so much better just to get it even. Okay? And I hope that's helped you because I got to get rolling. I'm into Becky. Becky, here we go. Let's roll. Let's roll. Let's roll. So, done equipment. Becky, we're ready. Oh my gosh. So, the first one we're going to do is about the spider. This is a golden orb spider characterized by her yellow web and was taken in September of 2017 on a friend's farm. We found the spider late at night in a heavy wooded pasture while looking for a miniature Scottish Highland cow close to giving birth. Oh my gosh, that is so cool, Becky. I love it. Yeah, Jan, black velvet all the way. I just looked at your comment. Okay, so let me see. Let me get back. Fortunately, we had flashlights. Hold on. Fortunately, we had flashlights and spotted her before we walked into her web, which have been totally creepy. Yes, it would have been. I would have been scared. I love spiders, so don't get me wrong, but walking into her web, that would have freaked me out. Let's see. She was very beautiful. She is very beautiful, for sure. I went back the next day and photographed her with my Nikon D7-100 mounted on a tripod using a Tokina 100 2.8 macro lens set at 1/13 of a second at f8 and with an ISO at 100. The image was edited in Lightroom with colors and saturated edits applied. Because her web was between two trees and taller than me, I had to aim my lens upward towards the trees, which had sunlight filtering through, causing me to slow down the shutter speed to avoid overexposure. Overexposure in the highlights. Very good. I have a suggestion. Hold on one second. Let me see. Oh my gosh, I'm jumping the gun again. I do this all the time. I get so excited. I can't help it. I really do love looking at you guys' images and hearing your stories. This is great, Becky, by the way. I just love hearing your story. So she aimed toward the trees. The sunlight was filtering through that caused me to slow down the shutter speed to avoid overexposure in the highlights. Anyway, she was quite lovely, and I named the image Lady in Waiting. Very nice. Love this photograph. Yes, and I have never seen a spider like this. So again, I can't tell you enough how exciting it is for me to see images that are not in my area, that are different, and that you guys are out there photographing up close. So look at how beautiful. Let me get this out, please. We do not need this. We need to see her. Look at how pretty she is. I mean, let's go to Phil. She's gorgeous. This, I don't know. I mean, I just love the way her legs are. Let's get in close. This is really close. This is going crazy close. But look at that. The fur. She's so pretty. I mean, to really see him when you post-process and to be able to see her up close, how exciting is that? Very, very nice. Let me go ahead and, Becky, let's see. I wrote in here that I love that you got the circles of confusion and it's not so crazy bright like you said. And that is really, really good, because sometimes that is so bright it just really pulls your eyes away. And that's not pulling my eyes away. I think it's really exciting to see some fun circles within her. But she is still not in that, so she is like right in a perfect... You positioned her really nice. So the circles are good and you did a great job. I did want to say that maybe I do like, I don't know how the wind was, because you got her pretty sharp, which is really good. Because to tell you the truth, to shoot at, you did it at 1/13 of a second, that is tough. That's a slow shutter speed. The thing that I would suggest, I mean, you did a great job, but I would suggest maybe later, bump up your ISO. I know your camera can handle ISO 400, 800. If you bump up that ISO, you'll get a faster shutter speed, because if there is wind, you'll need to compensate. I mean, if there's any kind of wind and she's on that web, she'll become blurry. So that is a suggestion that I thought about when I was reading about your shutter speed. Because as we're getting close, I know that we lose the depth of field and we need it. But you know, we're outside now. We're not inside. So I thought about that. And another thing that I thought too, she's amazing. So what I did was, let's see if we can go over here. I don't see if I can. Let me look at real quick. Oh, I'm in. Let me go to library. So, what's this? There we go. Look at that. I flipped her. Doesn't she seem more powerful? Don't mess with this girl. I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh, Charlotte Elizabeth Cummings, check out the spider shot. Oh, did you share it? Hi, Charlotte. Hey, how's it going, girl? Oh, it's live and my dog's barking. Shh, shh. We're babysitting a dog. I love dogs, so. Hey, Charlie, how's it going? But anyways, yes, look at this spider. It is so cool. Becky, you did a great job. I flipped her around because I wanted you to see that even though you're shooting behind and that is what you did, sometimes the composition, you could shoot wherever you want and then you could play with it out in post. So I just flipped it. Another thing I thought too is, okay, this is just me getting deep because I love this photograph so bad. I mean, this is, look at, so if I was thinking that, let me bring her in a little closer. Okay, let me just cut a little bit off. Okay, so, oh wait, that's too close because her bottom legs are, I don't want it that close. What I was thinking here as I crop is she is gorgeous and beautiful, and she's powerful and jumping on it. And do you see how you have this dark area right in here? It's like she's taking over. I always look at just even more detail and more of the story. So to me, this spider, she's beautiful, and she's like, don't mess with me. Yes, I am looking at the dark side, and I'm going for it, and you will not touch me. I know you might be saying, Janice, woo! But you know what? Truthfully, I think this is so powerful. I just love it. I mean, it's just, see how this is right here? She's looking down. To me, it's kind of like she's being submissive, and I don't see this girl being submissive at all. I see her being powerful and saying, I am woman. So this is beautiful. You did a great job, Becky. I love it. I just did a couple little tweaks, and I just wanted to give you some suggestions on that. So we have to get going because it's 6:01, and I need to get into your flower. I wanted to share some more stuff with you guys, but this shot is so freaking cute. It's actually, it is one of my favorites that you've submitted, Becky, because I can relate to this. So let me read this to you guys. I know I'm going a little over. I'm sorry, but I have to. I mean, I just love this photo. Okay, so she says, this photo was taken June of 2017 on my friend's farm. I noticed some small violet flowers on the outside of her raised flower bed and set up my tripod to begin shooting. I found this one, and when I looked through the viewfinder, lo and behold, there was a tiny insect perched delicately on the flower. I never saw the bug until I looked through the viewfinder at the flower, which was only slightly larger than a dime. Anyway, the bug was cooperative and seemed unconcerned about the giant lens inches away. The image was made with my Nikon D7100 with a Tokina 100mm 2.8 macro lens mounted on a tripod. She was at 1/400th of a second f8 at ISO 100. Flash was not used. The image was taken into Lightroom with minor adjustments to color and saturation, and I had an idea to replace the background, but since I'm very unfamiliar with using Photoshop, decided against trying to get that done. But maybe I can learn enough to be able to do it later. So that's why I have to work on this ASAP, because I did this for you, and I wanted to share with you easy ways to go ahead and play with that background. So everybody, isn't this cute? Oh my gosh, I'm going to go a little over because look at how cute this bug is. We're going to go Phil. And I love this because when we do photograph macro and we get up close and we see these bugs and they're just chilling, they are so excited. It's like your new friend. Becky, you just made a friend. And they will always be with you because you'll have this image to remember. So I wanted to let you know that you did a great job. The f-stops and all that stuff, you got the eyes in focus. I did want to let you know where your focusing spot was. Right here. Look at that. Those are pollen, little pollens. How cute. I mean, to be able to see that. So, Becky, when you're photographing, I understand that, you know, it's hard to get it minute. So, but I wanted to let you know this is your focusing spot, and I actually love it because I got to see the pollen up close just on this little flower, this little minute thing. So what I want you to do, because I'm getting to know you, is in the future when you see these great shots, I want you to go ahead and stack. You can use the photos later. We can talk about stacking later, but because it's with, you know, we're digital, we're not with the film. Go for the eyes and then just start doing as much as you can, getting in focus everything around by taking different pictures. And I have tutorials on stacking and all that stuff, but you still did good. The bug is right there in focus. It looks great. So with that said, I wanted to let you know that what you can do also is you can look around. People, I do this all the time too, is people have a lot of freebies. And so we're in the develop module. So a lot of people have presets. And so I'm going to share, this is my preset, but I'm going to share real quick. Let's share you. Okay, so let's get it down to fit. So here is the image, and here's a preset. And so this preset, let me get off. I'm trying to get off of me. So let me show you my preset. Now, I know that these are for my members, but you could go and look everywhere else. So this is a landscape, and let me show you the presets. So presets, people, like I said, there's tons of presets, and you just scan over the presets. You can download them. They'll show you how to do it, and that will change up backgrounds or anything that you want to do on your image to have fun, and you'll learn a little bit more about post-processing. Okay? Let me get myself back on because I'm talking really fast because I want to show you Photoshop. So now I know it's a pain in the butt, but I do give free textures. So let me get onto Photoshop. Hold on one second. Let me get into the front screen. Let me get into Photoshop because I was thinking about you. And you can, I mean, you can join, you can sign up for my newsletter and cancel. I don't care. But to get my presets, let me get into Photoshop. To get my textures, let's go over here quickly to Photoshop. Okay, so to get my textures, you got to sign up for my newsletter. Sorry, I'm a businesswoman, but you can unsubscribe if you don't want to stay on there. But this right here, I'm going to share here. This right here is a texture, and I want to give you an idea. So here's the text. So here's your background. Here's the texture. Okay, here's the texture that I use that I give for free. And what I do is real quick. Let me get over here. I'm going to share. You come back to this later because I'm doing this really fast. I know. So take a texture of a color. Think about the color. But within this texture, look at, there's different variations of the color that I wanted to put in your background. So there's the dark, the lights, the different colors. So I took over here the move tool. I'm dragging it over to the image. I'm hitting my shift key, letting it go. It is smaller than your image, no problem. Command or Control T. I'm just going to drag this up. We're going to do this really fast, okay? But again, you can come to this later. So now we have the texture. You can't, of course, it's like in your face, so it's right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to change it from normal, and all we care right now is color. We're going to take the color. Well, woo, it's crazy color right now. That's okay. What you're going to do is you're going to take the opacity down to where you like it. Okay, so I pretty much going to go maybe even like that. Let's just say that color. Let's go back and forth. So say I don't like the color into the flower itself. What I'll do is, oh, I went to opacity 0. What the hell happened there? I'm trying to rush. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here below on the bottom. Take these steps with me, okay, when you go back later. You're going to add a mask, and it's revealing everything. You're going to go over here to the paintbrush right here, and you're going to, let me make sure, Hold on one second. Oh, let's see. I'm not showing. Well, my paintbrush is black, and I know if you go like this, double click, it's not doing it for me. Hold on. Okay. It's because I'm on this monitor that's really small. But anyways, we'll make sure the paintbrush is black, and I'll put it in the notes below because we're running late. And I want to make sure that it's highlighted on the mask, and I want to get rid of that color. So I'm just going to paint that off because you want the pretty color of the flower. But yet, I still have, real fast, look, background's different. And then there we go. There's a pretty color. So you just pick a texture that you want, and you just pick the color, and it still gives it some variation, so it's not just a flat looking color. That's why I like to do it this way in Photoshop. So let me go to my front screen because I'm crazy over time. It's 6:09, and I wanted to make sure that I get it for an hour. I always tell you guys, I didn't realize I was going to go over, but Becky, I think that if you do those steps, you really will love being able to play with the background like you were saying, because sometimes it's hard, and if you can use textures, so if you get anything for free for texture and you like the color, do those steps. And if you have questions, you can ask me, okay? Because I didn't get to show you how to change the color, but most of the time, you'll see a white background, and the paintbrush will have the black, and everything should be good. So, with that said, I wanted to make sure that if you do want to join, sign up for my email, it's up to you. I'll go ahead and let you see my website now. Let me push that on. To get to know us in more detail, check out sullivanjphotography.com. And while you're at it, sign up for challenges, deep dive photography information, and free textures by just filling out your email and your name and pushing that grab your first challenge. If you'd like to even into your photography and really elevate it, check out membership.sullivanjphotography.com. This is a membership that's only $29 a month, and we give you everything that's needed to really push your macro and landscape photography. Hope to see you there. Okay, you can sign up if you want and get the textures and not sign in and just delete the emails if you don't want to. It is something that I do when it comes to my website. You join for my email challenges. I give you the textures that I just showed on how to play with Becky's background, and they're free. But there's others out there too. I just figured that was a good suggestion because the background, sometimes when you play with it, sometimes it needs a little bit more punch with some highlights and some darks in there, and to play with it so it's not so just bland. But that's just a suggestion. I want to also thank you all who have been here. I totally appreciate you. At least I'm not talking to air. And I had already told Becky in the last show, as long as one of you guys are out here, I will always do this show. I've seen so many of you guys. Thank you, Jan, Dawn, Charlie. I mean, I can keep going. The Kim, all you guys that have shared. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. But thank you for being here. I totally appreciate you. If you want to see my other emails, not emails, but every Thursday I do some kind of video pushes out on Thursday. So it's this or my quick dives, Sullivan J Photo. And let me see, where else am I? You saw where I'm at, Facebook. If you want to join the Facebook group, and I don't know how to turn off that other one. Where is it at? Let's see. Let's get rid of that. Rid of that. Let's go. Let's see. Facebook. Join the Facebook group, and you can share your images, and we will put them on the show. So this really is about chatting with you guys and being able to connect about macro photography. It's 6:13. I just want to say that I totally appreciate you guys again. I'm going to head out. You guys have a good evening. just remember 1,000 words does make a difference. So be creative and push those photographs and share them off to the world. I'm Janice Sullivan from Sullivan J Photography, and I help you get up close and personal with your camera. Have a great evening, day, or afternoon, wherever you're at. Cheers, everyone.